Alright. Let's see here. There we go. Alright, guys. Get everything going here. Get my YouTube chat window up so I can see what's going on there. There we go. Hopefully everything looks and sounds alright. If it does not, please let me know. But I think I got it all set pretty decent. I could just... How's everybody doing tonight? It is just now starting to pour down rain here at the house. I'm surprised you can't hear it through the mic. Music story, something funny before we really get going here. Had a guy come in. He comes in all the time. Awesome kid, big Stevie Ray Vaughan head, and he came in and said, I'm trying to get away from the Stevie Ray stuff so much, and of course I said, why? Would you want to get away from Stevie Ray and playing Stevie Ray licks? And he said, well, because everybody does. Everybody plays Stevie Ray. And to which my answer was no. Everybody doesn't. Everybody plays Stevie Ray Vaughan songs. Everybody does not play Stevie Ray. We've all got our pet licks that will fool the untrained ear, and get the smash hammered guy at the back of the bar to come up to you at the end of the night and say, "Man, you sound just like Stevie Ray." You don't. I don't. I've been playing Stevie Ray for 30, 40 years now. I wouldn't even begin to claim I have mastered Stevie Ray. But I just found that funny. Hey, Madison, what's up? Sam, Chad. I see there's 5 of y'all in here, but whoever the other 2 are, you need to say hello. But yeah, I was just telling him about pet licks, and we've all got pet licks. The lick you go to when you got to hit something right. You don't want to take it. It's just it's kind of like your favorite blanket. If you're Linus, we don't carry around a little blue blankie. We carry around about 10 pre-programmed licks in our head that we just move around, and maybe it's more than 10. I'm sure for some of y'all it is. I've never counted my pre-programmed licks, but I can sit here and play you most of them. I go back and I record every so often. I record a bunch of songs from a live show, and I go back and watch it. And you'll sit there and go, man, I sure do play that lick a lot. Then at which point you have to, that's where this room comes in. You got to start practicing to try to get out of playing that lick so much. And it's hard to do because, especially if you're out playing and you've had 2 or 3 beers, something like that, it's real easy to just go, all right, I'm just having fun now. And it is. It's a blast. I cannot say I don't do it. It is a blast, but I have noticed don't drink quite as much. I've become a little bit more of a thinking type player. But oh wow, my OBS is going all crazy over here, guys. Let me fix this. Don't know why I did that. There we go. That was not for you guys on Facebook. That was my YouTube, guys. For some reason, my camera angle split into 2 cameras. I didn't want it to do that. But the pet licks thing, I wish we were on Patreon right now because we'd go around and I'd have everybody play, sit and think about it for about 30, 45 seconds, and then play me your pet lick. Because you know you've got them. We all do. Probably the most common. If you play blues, there's pet lick number 1. There's pet lick number 2. Pet lick number 3. So, I mean, there are certain licks you know are going to work every time, and we always do them there, where we're happy, and something to just try. I've still got the same backing track I've been using for a while because I've been busy, working a lot. Been trying to pump out a lot of videos. Hopefully you guys dig them. Appreciate all the likes. Those of you who have gone over to Patreon and signed up, thank you so much. I mean, it's free. Just jump over and do it. Probably, I got a gig tomorrow night. Sam, who is on here with us right now, he and I will be playing with Cash Crop tomorrow night at Delta Blues in Abingdon from 8 to 10. And then this week I picked up a little side thing for a few gigs, filling in with some friends of mine on about 3 of their shows. And so I've got a bunch of new songs to learn. So I think as a test, Saturday night, I'm probably going to jump on Patreon and open up a Zoom meeting and you guys can come watch me practice. Tell me where I'm messing up. We'll shoot the bull. We'll have a drink, whatever, after I just told you not to drink too much. But it's practice. So if you don't do anything Saturday night, kind of plan on that. It'll probably be later, 8, 9 o'clock, something like that. Gotta have time to come home and eat. So you guys got any questions, let me know about anything from the past few weeks. I'm going to throw a couple of ideas at you to work on tonight. And we did this one, we've done this one before probably, but jumping over to Facebook, I've had a lot of new viewers, so I'll probably rehash a little bit of the stuff that I think is really important. And first thing, and I've said it 100 times, if you've watched this, you've heard me say it, fretboard recognition. Know where your notes are at. That's the biggie. And then you can just move everything around, especially if we're playing an A. That's what my backing track is in, so we are in A minor. Find all your A's. Know where your A is at, and then you can start working your scales. You can work your pentatonics. You can work your pet licks. But once you know where those are at, there's just a simple arpeggio, A, C, E. I have to do a little different there. Then it makes it easier to find where you're going, and you can, more easily, if you're stuck here, makes it easier if you get into an unfamiliar spot to not have to immediately do the Stevie Ray pet lick number 8 and dive into a lick you already know. If you're playing up high, you just skipped a whole bunch of fretboard that you would be able to do something with. And I'm guilty of this as bad as anybody else. And that's why I bring it up on here, because when I taught high school, I learned a long time ago, the best way to learn something is to try to teach it to somebody else, because you'll remember it a whole lot better. So everybody, start filming videos, teaching people how to do stuff. Everybody else is doing it. You might as well. I'm doing it. You might as well do it. And tonight again, the old-fashioned Buffalo Trace in it tonight. One of my reels hits 5,000 views. At that point, we'll mix a old-fashioned out of some E.H. Taylor. That's only special occasion stuff, though. I've had it for 4 months now, and I've mixed one drink out of it. But back to fretboard recognition. I get sidetracked easy. ADHD, guys, can't help it. At least y'all got licks. So, to break yourself out of those pet licks, find jumping off points on the rest of the neck. I'm going to show you what I mean. I've said this several times. Play on one string. We're playing an A minor right now. I'm going to just we'll do it on our B string. Because I don't have an open A there to work with, so that kind of limits you a little bit. If we're playing an E, and you got an open string to work with, you got a little more possibilities. But with A, having that B, that 2 is kind of an odd open thing to throw in there. But if we're talking our A minor pentatonic scale, we have A, C, D, E, and G. So if we're on our B string, we're going to have to start at C. C, D, E, G, A. Then we go on up. A, C, D, E, G, A. It's all the notes in the pentatonic scale on that string. Now, you can throw in chromatic notes, but just starting out, you probably got GarageBand. You've got, some of you guys have got a recording program. If you don't, you've got a cell phone. Record a super simple progression like what I've got here. It's three chords. That's all it is. And it gives you something to practice. Turn it on, Bluetooth it into your stereo, into your whatever you've got. If you have a Yamaha Tag 3, you can Bluetooth it into your freaking guitar. It's kind of crazy. But I'm going to show, and I have not rehearsed this on that string. And like I said, I am still in the, what I would call intermediate phase of playing guitar. I am nowhere near what I would call advanced. Andy Wood said in a lesson a while back that what you're talking about beginner, intermediate, and advanced, beginner area is about this big. And the intermediate area is about that big. And the advanced area is about that big. So 95% of the people you're ever going to see are probably in that intermediate area because we've all got stuff to learn. Nobody, to the best of my knowledge, has completely mastered the guitar. Well, Guthrie Govan, he may have completely mastered the guitar. If anybody has, it's Guthrie. And if you don't know who Guthrie is, you really should go listen to Guthrie. All right, any of you guys who are in here that have never been here before, welcome. And if you're not already following the page, click a follow on there. I'm going to actually drop you guys my links in the chat. So you can open up. Over in the chat window there, you'll see my Instagram, my YouTube, my TikTok. You're already on Facebook, so you probably won't see that on here. It's probably there too, though. But those are my other links to my other pages. Go over there, click follow on them. A lot of the Instagram and Facebook, of course, you've all got it. That's kind of equal things. You see the same stuff on there. Instagram just doesn't seem to be as good for live streams. I've tried to watch a couple and it just don't work. Anyway, let's do this real quick. Unfortunately, this backing track is only about a minute long. So about the time I really get going with the song and get figured out what I'm going to do, it ends. So if it does end and I want to keep going, I'm just going to whip it back real quick and keep going. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the pentatonic. And I'm only going to play on my B string and see what kind of solo I can create. Oh, let me jump over here. We got people on YouTube as well. Camera, what am I, some kind of mad scientist for Rumblefish? Yes, I am some kind of scientist, a mad one. Pete Rice, how are you, my friend? Yes, playing the Explorer tonight. I think this one may go to Delta Blues tomorrow night. I didn't take it out because the case was too big, and it was a pain in the ass. But now I have an SKB case that's smaller, so I think the Explorer might have to go out. Let me get a drink here, and we'll mess with this. All right. And I'm just going to do this in single notes. For now, I'm not going to really do any bends. I'm just going to kind of slide back and forth on that string, move around with just basically, quarter notes. And show you what I'm talking about, just soloing on a string. So I'm going to start this and we'll just see what happens. Okay, I lied. I did a bend there at the end. But you get the idea. And there's some flubs in there. Yeah, it happens. There was some flubs in there. But you know what? Give me 1 second, guys. I turned my air conditioner off in here when I got home. But it's getting a little stuffy. Hold on. All right. That will make things better. But all I was doing was playing notes in that A minor pentatonic scale. And then you start adding, same thing, but this time I'm going to start adding bends into it. Whoops, I'm on another string. So you can see there, like I say, and there was some mess ups in there. I mean, it's going to happen. But you can see how you can kind of start building a solo that doesn't sound like, your basic. And you can still use those licks, but mix them in with that one string thing. And if I end up right here playing on one string and I'm in my A minor pentatonic, what am I going to do from there? Am I going to, Stevie Ray Bell back down to here? Or am I going to find a lick up here? See, anywhere you're at, you should be able to at least find a lick. Maybe not every lick I mean, it's a good idea to take, and find that lick up here, and find that lick up here. Find it everywhere you can find it, and it'll just make you a better player. But using that one string method will go a long way towards, helping you do that. And the one string pentatonic thing, I'll show you one other thing you can do with it. And yes, bad habits, folks. I do vape. My apologies. It's nicotine before anybody says anything. Nicotine. I live in Tennessee. I think I'd publicize something like that. All right, anyway. Something else cool you can do with one string, as long as you know where all those notes are. Your A minor pentatonic. Let's do this, see what happens. Sharp. It's driving me crazy. I keep wanting to go to that F sharp note. I've been practicing an A major too, so it's throwing me. But there's another. That's how you can find your finger taps. Just playing in that pentatonic scale, they're all there. They're in your arpeggios. Say a lot of arpeggios are that 1-3-5. I mean, hopefully the copyright don't blast on this. That's 1-3-5 arpeggio. A, C, E, A. Then you're just moving to another arpeggio. Same thing down here. But I'm going to stop it there before something pops up and says, you can't do that. But again, that was kind of a one-string thing there. You can do the exact same type. That's if I was playing in B. Because I got that drone string. Now playing an E, if I wanted to do the one string thing, I've got a 5. If I'm playing an A minor and I want to do it on my E string, that gives me an open 5. Which if I'm doing, our notes again. There's my 5, my E. So that gives me a lot more options. So now I've got, let's find our scale, E, G, A, C, D, E. Sounded like Jack Butler trying to get to that violin note in Crossroads there for a minute. He didn't make it either, just for the record. He lost that fight. There it is. All right, anyway. But when you got that open drone string, let me back it up here and use the open drone a little bit, show you what I mean. Right there, I kind of deceived y'all a bit. I was saying I was going to stay in the pentatonic, but I was not staying in the pentatonic. I actually was adding a 2 note into that one lick I did. And all that is, if you're picking it, it's all on the E string. 8th fret, your C note, your A note, 5th fret, and open. Then 7th fret, B note, 5th fret, A note, and open. And you just rotate them. I just can't get... And the reason I do it the way that I did it there, in kind of a legato-y type hammer-on thing, is I cannot get my fingers to move, my right hand to move that fast. Still working on alternate picking every day, but I just can't get it that fast. So I'm just doing all hammer-ons, not even picking it. So C, A, E, B, A, E. And I'm using my pinky ring finger for the first. Oh, sorry, pinky, index, open, ring, index, open. And you can find it other spots too. Like here I got the C, the D, and the E. It's a lot bigger stretch, but so little fun. There's a break you out of your pet lick. Don't use that lick very often, just because I think it would get, and I ripped it off 100%. Dave Murray, Iron Maiden, totally came from Dave Murray. 100%. Well, when I meet him, I'll hand him $5 and say I owe you royalties. Yeah, Vito. I'm trying to catch up on the chat over here too. Vito Brother was great at tapping one string. He was fan. He doesn't get a lot of the cred he deserved. White Lion kind of came in right there at the end of the whole 90s or 80s thing, I guess. I hate to call it hair metal because some of those bands were not. Skid Row was not a hair metal band. I mean, they weren't. I'm sorry. If you listen to the Slave to the Grind album, that is one of the best hard rock albums that you will ever hear. If I move my fingers that fast, I'm having a stroke. That's great. Sam Strong. There will be a gear tour coming up. You can't see a lot of the studio back here, but you can kind of see, the guitars back there and over here. You kind of see a little bit of case. That's because there's a lot of shit just piled in that corner. Because I'll come home from a gig, throw stuff down. I'll buy new stuff and throw stuff down. I'm going to use this one. I got a set of Elisa's drums sitting over there. I bet I haven't played 3 times. Got them for doing recording. Hooked them up. Sounded good. And then I discovered, GarageBand's drummer. And he's better than I am. So I'm going to let GarageBand do my drumming for now, and then I'm going to hand it off to several of my buddies when I actually do start recording this solo thing. And try to get a lot of different people to play on it with me. I'm not going to make it, all me. So I do want to get some guest people on there, especially people I've played in bands with over the years. Now, we've done just the single. We're going to go on that bottom string for a few minutes. We'll go on the bottom string. High E, whatever you want to call it. We've done just that type thing. And we've done the bends. So then it's put it all together. Use the sliding around and moving the one string thing. Throw in a bend into that. Throw in a finger tap into that. That little arpeggiated lick. Put that in. And between all those things, with any luck, you'll be able to construct a pretty cool solo using just one string. Hopefully it'll be cooler than one I'm probably about to play you. Because just straight up, I don't sit here and rehearse before this is done, or before I do this. I have a backing track ready to go. I know what chords it is, and I've used this backing track before, but it's always been to teach something different. It's been, let's teach arpeggios, let's teach this. So the one string thing and the 3 chords I'm using is a little different than what I may have used several months ago. But I'm going to take all 3 of those concepts, just the sliding around, the legato, the bends, and some finger tapping, and see if I can mix them all together into one semi-cohesive solo that doesn't sound like shit. Does that sound like a good goal? Alright, before I do that, guys, you will notice, you'll see some stuff popping up down there in the chat window. Trying to drop, all my things in there for people. who may just be showing up and seeing and have not ever seen anything like what we're doing or seen this show before. So I am trying to drop all my links there, get everybody over, check out my page, share it with your friends. If you know guitar players, you might want to learn a little bit. If you know guitar players who want to make fun of me because they're a lot better than I am, everybody needs a laugh, so share it. All right, let's try this bottom string thing here and just see what happens. And let me get my screen back up here. Doing these things is a lot more complicated than you would imagine. Oops. Let's pause that and get to the beginning. All right, let's see what happens. But, like I said, a few mess ups in there, not a big deal. Everybody does them. But that was mixing all three of them together. Hopefully, hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea. And like I say, any of these things, you know, if you guys practice this, record them, come back and post them in the chat on here. Let me see that you've worked on some of this stuff, and let me know if it's helping. If you want me to do something different, I played resonator guitar last night. It wasn't great, but that was actually, you can kind of see it. Yeah, you can see the headstock right there. That was my dad's resonator. It had not been out of the case since he passed away 3.5 years ago. Same strings that were on it. So I got it out and played it for a little while last night because I paid my taxes and I had the paying the taxes blues, so I pulled out a resonator guitar and did a very bad imitation of Eugene Martone from Crossroads. Anybody who's seen the movie knows it's really Rycooter, but it's Lightning Boy. If you haven't seen the movie, what have you really done with your life up to this point? I'm just really curious because it's a great movie. I did see, we found one thing out on the Patreon. I did it the other night. Didn't have much going on the other night. First night I didn't expect it. But it can only be 40 minutes at this point. If I want it to go over 40 minutes, I've got to start paying $15 a month for it or something like that. So I'm going to wait till, there's a few people dropping in every week. And if everybody starts liking it. And at 40 minutes, everybody's like, oh man, let's hang out some more. Then I'll go ahead and I'll drop the money for that because it's tax write-off. I learned all about tax write-offs. I wrote off so much shit. So much shit. Hopefully it doesn't come back on me. I think it was all right. As far as I know, I ran it through the little checker and talked to a friend about it, and everything seems to be in order. So, hey Chase, how are you, buddy? Thank you, man. I love this Explorer too. It's a very cool guitar. I lucked out. It came into Morel Music. Everybody in here knows I work at Morel's, or I would think you do. But it came through the store, and very rarely does a super cool guitar like this come through the store that I don't end up with it, or Sam Strong doesn't end up with it. A lot of times all it takes is a pretty picture, sending it to Sam, and he's on the way up. And there's a lot of us like that. You probably saw the video I did today, hopefully you did, of the Molly Tuttle D18, and that one went out the door today. Amazing sounding guitar. Would love to have one of those, but Lord, I can get the Billy Strings cheaper, and I don't know which one sounds better. I think maybe the Billy Strings, but maybe. I don't know. It's close. The Molly Tuttle sounds fantastic. Yes, I have a wall of write-offs. It's yeah, next year I'm actually being a little better with it this year too because I've started keeping receipts of when I grab food on the way to a gig or food on the way home from a gig and clothes I only wear at the gigs and all of that stuff. I got bases too, Keith. You just can't see them. I don't put them on the wall behind. Well, actually, there's one. There's a fretless base. Where's it at? Over there. There's a fretless base over there in the corner. But my other two bases hang right here above my computer monitor. One of them is a PV Milestone that I got from Sam Strong, and the other was my dad's Hofner copy. It looks just like the Beetle bass. And those just kind of... So when I need a bass, I just reach up and grab one. But we will, again, be doing the Patreon for certain on Sunday night. Either 8 or 8:30. If you guys have any input on that, because you all are probably going to be the ones that will be on there. Like I said, it's free for right now. So everybody can come over and watch. And what I'll do, at least for this Sunday night too, when we do the stream, I may even do it Saturday night. If I do a stream Saturday, on my Facebook, I will put a link to the Zoom meeting in my Facebook and on my Patreon. And you can come get an idea of what the live hang is going to be. After April, unfortunately, there will be a small charge for it. For some of you, there probably will not be. But when I say small, I mean small. It's probably going to be like $3 to just be a friend of the show. And you'll get like extended cut videos, no ads. Some of the videos that I'll only post on Patreon, especially like showing you the gear that I own and stuff. I don't really want to throw everything out there all over Facebook, but there will be some of that, and there'll be a weekly live hang every Sunday night. We might move it around depending on how many of you sign up for that. If everybody in the group says, hey man, Sunday's horrible for me, can we do it this night? We'll move it around. And I'll just hop on there. If I'm writing, I'm in here recording or something, I may just hop on, turn it on. If you guys want to come hang out and watch, shoot the bull, listen a little bit, we'll do that too. So, you guys have been very cool. We've had a bunch of people in here tonight. Last week was very slow. It was very slow. See, I just started jerking off and learning, pet licks. Again, pet licks. But, so, stay out of the, and after, like I said, that bottom string, the way we did all that on the bottom string, do that on every string. If you can play a really killer A solo, A minor solo, one string at a time on every string, then it's just a matter of tying those strings together. You know where all your notes, you've got the note recognition to see everything. Maybe don't start with your whole fretboard. If you're new to it and you don't really know your fretboard that well at all, focus on frets 1 through 5. Spend all week just doing nothing but memorizing what notes are in frets 1 through 5. And then next week, go through 6 through 10. Actually, break it down even less. Do 1 through 6 one week and 7 through 12. And then you know all your notes, because after the 12th fret, it's just repeating anyway. All you got to do is look at it as big guitar neck, tiny guitar neck. Kind of a juvenile way to look at it, but it's the same thing. You just, it's bigger here, it's smaller here, but it's the same exact notes. So make sure you learn your fretboard really, really well. I can't stress that enough. The pet licks, to break out of those pet licks, I'm going to do a pet lick. The pet lick is... And then I'm going to play off of that and move it around on the B string. I'm going to jump back to the B string this time. Instead of playing on the E, I'm going to jump back to the B string. was still using my pet lick, but it sounds different than same notes. I played the same notes. I just slid it instead of stay on that one string and slide. Because if you can keep a note connected, it sounds more full. It's not as choppy, you know. If I just did that's the notes I'm playing. Just doing those slurs and the slides on it. Little tiny things you can do to just make a big difference in your playing. And like I said, I really appreciate y'all hanging out here and maybe trying to get some of that from me. That's awesome. And again, anytime y'all want me to cover something, don't know if y'all heard the dogs barking back there or not. The wife might be home. But that's all right. She knows I do this. I don't hide it. It's okay. But any little thing you can do to change it up. I don't even remember what it was. Sam, you're going to have to help me on this if you're still on here. We played something the other night. We played at Tulips in Johnson City. And I don't even remember what song we were doing. Keith was there. But I know it was a slower song. But I cannot remember what the song was. And I did the one string thing. In the middle of it, I can't even remember the lick I used. I don't know what key we were in. I have no idea. I'm just going to say we were in C. So, just something like that. I don't know. But I did just one of the one-string licks. And Sam, who stands right on my right, just stood right over by me. It's nice. I'm like, yeah. Cool. Okay. All right. Sam says nice. I know I did something right tonight. But that was the one string thing. And I, could have stood there and just been ripping. And sometimes it only takes one or two really well-placed notes and bends. If you didn't get to see the video, go to my page on here or YouTube, Instagram. It's on all of them. Scroll down. You'll see this guitar. And it's a video I did on bends. And I use a few single notes in it. Actually, I'm using this backing track. But I do some licks in it. But the majority of it is bends. And just how to make a decent solo out of bends. Because that probably separates the players you remember their names and the players you don't. In many cases. At least for me it did. Leslie West, I think one of the best bending players. David Gilmour. I don't know if there is a better. Okay, you can't remember the tune either. I'm glad. I know it was a slower song, though, so I think we only do like 4 slow songs. It may have even been Simple Man when Keith was up there playing with us. I can't remember. Hurricane, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I did a lick and Sam thought it was cool, and he was like, hell yeah, And that's kind of, as a guitar player, that's what it's about for us. Just somebody going, brother, hell yeah. I don't think any of us sitting here are ever going to be famous. It'd be awesome if you are. You get a big, huge tour and gig. I do guitar tech work. Pay me well. I'll go with you. Just saying. But you guys have been awesome. We've been on here for like 45 minutes tonight. Y'all are killer. Probably will kind of shut it down here short. There's still 10 people on here. That is awesome. Yep, Simple Man. Sam remembered good. You know what? It probably sounded as good as it did because we had Keith playing bass. Or it may have been The Sky's Crying. Good Lord. It was a slow song. And I think Keith played bass on it. So it was either Simple Man or The Sky's Crying. Well, hell, didn't we do Hurricane too? I don't. It doesn't really matter. The point is, I did a one-string lick, and Sam liked it. That was the entire point of that long, drawn-out, blah-de-blah there. All right, quick recap for y'all. Sunday night, Patreon. Just go over to Patreon and sign up. It's a free. You can create a free account. I think all you do is do an email and tell it what you like. But create a free one, and then you'll see there's already some posts up there. A lot of them are posts that have been on here, but they're just a little bit longer where I kind of break down what I was doing. I'm actually going to, I finally have decided, there will be some saxophone stuff coming on this page, the Facebook page, the YouTube page, and on the Patreon. Had somebody comment on the resonator video I did, said, hey, do some beginner resonator stuff. So I may do some resonator stuff too. I don't know. Whatever you guys want to see. If you're over on Patreon after April and you're paying $3 a month, you're going to get whatever the hell you want. You know, just saying. But like I said, the $3 a month will get you all the videos. You know, I think I'm going to do $1 a month. Let you get all the videos you want. Then do $3 a month. You get the live stream. And then there will be a $25 option. Sorry it jumps so steeply. But the $25 option will be you get all the videos, you get the live streams, and you get one 30-minute to an hour, however long it takes us, one-on-one lesson. If you want to start, I'm going to start doing lessons on Patreon. So if you want a one-on-one lesson, it's $25, and you get one a month. For now, I'm only going to open up one a month, and it's going to be limited spots because I have very limited time. I just got too much crap going on, and if people call me for gigs, I can't say no because I like playing. And most of y'all are probably like that too. If somebody says, hey man, there's a jam, all right, I'm there, where's it at? And I'm already on the way to the car before I even know where it's at. So, but keep an eye out on the Patreon. If you are on the Patreon, turn your notifications on so that if I do post on there, it'll send you a notification that I, created a new post. But it'll also send you a notification, I have gone live. And the clip, the link will always be on my Patreon page. This Sunday, maybe even Saturday, the link will be here on Facebook. So you'll be able to see it on Facebook, click on it. It'll probably take you through Zoom. You'll have to set up a, super quick Zoom account with your email. If you don't have it yet, go ahead and just, sign on to Zoom. It's free too. They'll try to sell you shit. Don't get it. I'm going to pay for it. So, you all don't have to. But go to Zoom, get you a Zoom account, get you a Patreon account, go to my Patreon page, sign on to that. And like I say, you'll get the extra videos. You'll be able to message me and things on there as well. We'll pop all those links up one more time there. And I think I'm going to jump off here, guys, and I'm going to try to get a couple of videos recorded tonight before I go to bed. If there's anything y'all want to see a video on, I might do one on the single string soloing thing, just because I need to post a video tonight, and that seems like a pretty good idea. So if there's something y'all want, more rock and roll, I am going to start delving into the acoustic guitar. I'm working on some bluegrass flat picking stuff, but it's not to the point I'm going to play it in front of any other human being yet. But when it gets there, I'll start teaching it to you. So thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. It has been fun. Had a lot of you guys in here tonight. I really appreciate it. Sign on to Patreon. Sign on to Zoom. Come see Cash Crop tomorrow night at Delta Blues in Abingdon. If you have nothing to do, Saturday night I'll be here. And then Sunday, I know there's an open mic at the corner. And then Tuesday as well. Keith Vance will be at both of them. And then Sunday night, later, after the open mic, you can come to Patreon. We'll do a live hang. We'll be able to see each other. We'll be able to talk. We can play together. It'll be cool. Be like playing telephone when you were kids with the toilet paper rolls. You could see each other, but you really couldn't hear each other, So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go finish this drink. You guys have a good night. I will see most of you at work tomorrow. Have a good one, folks.